Perfect. So thank you guys for joining me this morning. We're going to go through Take Command 04, which is going to walk us through building our agent websites, building landing pages, as well as using the mobile app. I know we're scheduled for a full 2 hours, but I think we'll probably be able to do it in less time than that. And it's just 3 of us this morning, so feel free, unmute yourself at any time. Let me know what questions you have. Ask any questions in the chat box. I want to make sure you guys get as much out of this training as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'm in Command, so you should be able to see my screen. Let me know if you can't. So I'm in my Command home screen. To get started building your agent website, you're going to want to go to the consumer applet, which is going to be in the bottom left-hand corner. It looks like a little
quick question. How can I expand? I touch pointed your desktop. I'm trying to expand that so I can see it. It's just a tiny little. It's a tiny little.
Are you on your phone or are you on your?
I'm on my laptop.
You should be able to expand the whole Zoom window, so it should be taking up. I shared my screen, so it should take up the whole Zoom window on your computer.
Yeah, should. Okay, I'll play with it till it does. Thanks.
Okay. All right, so going to the consumer applet on the bottom left-hand corner, excuse me. And within the consumer applet, we have a couple of different headers. We have the landing page headers, agent website builder, or agent website pages, and guide builder. We're going to click on agent site pages. And then you should have this blue bar right here in the top of the screen that says configure your agent site here. Or if you scroll down to the bottom of the page, in the bottom left-hand corner, another area where it says configure your site. For us to get started building your website this morning, we want to click on the configure your site, because that's going to walk us through the Kelly guide that's going to help us create your website step by step. So I'm going to get started by clicking on configure your site. This pop-up is going to show up, and we're going to want to select, I want to use my new KW website. The other two options are I have a Playster site and want to continue to use Playster sites, or I want to explore other options. So that's if you have a completely separate website. But for today, we want to build our new KW agent site. So I'm going to click submit, and it's going to jump right into the Kelly guide. And what I really like about the Kelly guide throughout Command is it takes you through the process step by step by step. It just lets you know where you need to input information, what changes you can make. It's really, really simple. So once we're here in the Kelly guide, we'll just scroll down and we will click get started. We acknowledge and continue. So here it says click here to find your approved Market Center Brokerage DBA logo. You can search for the First Atlanta logo here. Command has most of them. What I would recommend if you need a copy of the KW First Atlanta logo is go to Rawlsgrouphelpdesk.com. Scott Hardy has uploaded all of the Market Center's logos into zip files there, and he has all the different formats, black and white, full color, transparent background, white background. So I'd recommend you just download that to your computer to make sure that you have the most updated one and you have different options you can choose from. So I'll click acknowledge and continue. All right, so now we are going to start on the process of building our agent website. So the first item is going to be choosing our subdomain. At the moment, our KW websites are not able to use a vanity URL. So with our Playster websites, I could use Nicholascore.com, and if someone typed that in, they would go directly to Nicholascore.com, and it would look like I had built that website within my vanity URL. At the moment, we can only have vanity URLs redirect to our KW websites. So our subdomain is going to be whatever we choose it to be, .kw.com. So for me, I've chosen Nicholascore.kw.com. The system command is going to pull in whatever is the likely subdomain that you have or whatever you used previously with Playster. If you want to change your subdomain, you can over here on the right-hand side. You can change your subdomain. You can just come over here to this box here, and you can type in whatever you would like and click claim domain. Perfect. So I just updated to Nicholascoreagent.kw.com, And now I want to get rid of agent and click on confirm domain. Congrats, you have claimed your subdomain. So that's how easy it is to claim your subdomain. Now, there may be some agents that have the subdomain if you have a common name or a common phrase that you want to use, but you can use different characters, some maybe numbers, or different phrasing, so you can have that subdomain. It is expected in the future that we will be able to use vanity URLs as our website, so that way I could have my website be nicholascore.com. Labs has been focusing on building out the other systems that are much more integral to our business versus working out using vanity URLs. So once you have claimed your subdomain, we'll just continue down through the Kelly guide on the right-hand side. We'll just go step by step by step. It's that simple. So we've completed the subdomain. Now we'll come to marketing profile information. Now, when we set up our marketing profile on TCO1, I had mentioned we want to click that toggle that allows all that information to be pulled into our agent website. And this is where that information should auto-populate from. So this should already be filled out for you for the most part. We'll just go through here and double check that the information is correct and see if there's anything that's missing. So first name, last name, market center brokerage, our brokerage address. It's all required because we want to make sure that we have all that information to make sure that our websites are compliant with REC rules and regulations. So here, if you have a team or business name, so I have Nicholascore Real Estate Group, which I will need to change. Professional job title, realtor, email, office phone number, mobile phone, and biography. So all this information, again, is pulled in from the marketing profile. So you just want to give it a quick once over to see if anything is different or updated. And the compliance legal footer, not required, but I always just put my name, realtor with Keller Williams First Atlanta. It's just another opportunity that I can get my name as well as the first Keller Williams First Atlanta name on the page to make sure I have that one-to-one match. Market center brokerage license number, brokerage phone number, and then compliance legal footer link. In the state of Georgia, we're not required to have links to specific websites. I know other states are required to have links to fair housing laws, as well as mortgage laws information. We're not required to. Same thing with legal footer images. If you wanted to add the fair housing law, or the realtor logo, or the fair housing logo here, you could do that, and those will show up at the bottom of your page. Continuing down, it pulls in the headshot as well as the logos that I uploaded to the marketing profile. So I don't need to make any changes here. But if you wanted to update your photo, you could easily upload right here. Again, I recommend using that 360 by 360 image to make sure that it renders properly, since most of the time these images will show up in a circle format. You can make a 360 by 360 image in Designs or in Canva. And if you have any questions or need any help with that, let me know. So I have my profile picture, brokerage logo, my personal logo, good to go. As I'm scrolling down, it's pulling in those social media links from my marketing profile. So this is one of the benefits of having put all that information in the marketing profile, because this just drags in automatically. I don't have to do anything. I could add a Twitter or YouTube if I wanted to, but I don't need to. And then I have my KW app link. So I want to make sure that's always included. So any opportunity that my clients or anyone visiting my website can download my app, I want to make sure they have that ability. So after you've gone through, you've chosen your subdomain, made sure that all of our marketing profile information is correct, click Save and Continue. Now we're going to go through step 2 of the Kelly Guide. I told you this is super easy. It just guides us through, walks us through exactly what we need to do. So the next item is to select the style and theme. So there's really only 2 options here. It's either going to be the red theme or the dark theme. And if you click on it, you can see that the KW over here in the left-hand corner changes color. So you can kind of go red, dark, red. I prefer red. KW is synonymous with red. So I want to make sure that when people are visiting my website, it clicks immediately that it's Keller Williams, it's real estate, I'm an agent. So I'm going to leave it as red. Now we have our homepage text. So I'm going to scroll down so that way we can see the text. Start your home search here. You can update this text right here. And one of the nice things is that as you start to make those updates on the right-hand side, it makes them on the actual template of your website. You can see, so you can see how it renders on the website. So begin your home search here. So you can update whatever text you want, or you could leave it to be the standard pre-filled in text. The next is we have the option to upload hero images. So as a part of the website, it's already loaded with 5 hero images that are formatted to that 1200 by 1200 size. If you scroll down, you can see all the different images that are included. I think I've deleted a few just through a couple trainings, but you should have a handful here. You can click on preview if you want to see what it looks like on the left-hand side. If you want some different designs or some different images, there is a whole portfolio of images within designs that you have the right to use. One of the great things about designs is that you have the license to use all of those images anywhere in your marketing material. You can, if you'd like, to upload your own image, maybe an image of a past listing or a current listing or any other piece of property. That being said, before you upload any of your own images, make sure you have permission from the photographer in writing to use that copywritten image on your website for marketing materials. Especially for listings, when we pay to have those photos taken, we are really paying to lease that image for the sole purpose of marketing that house for sale, not for marketing ourselves as agents. It can be tens of thousands of dollars in fines if you incorrectly use a copywritten image. So just make sure that if you're going to use anything that's outside of the Keller Williams platform, that you have written permission for that first. You can upload the image here in the Kelly guide, and I'll actually show you in just a little bit, once we jump back into command, how you can easily make those updates if you want to change out your photos for your hero image. So we have our 3 images here. If you don't like one, you can just click on the delete button here. And these images will rotate on your website. So it was kind of spend, probably like 5-10 seconds on each image and then rotate to the next. Once you're good with your images, we'll click save and continue. And now we're going to start building our actual websites and the pages within our site. So there's 3 different pages within the KW agent sites that are going to be prefabricated for us. There's going to be a company profile page, an about me page, and a contact us page. If you are a solo agent, the company profile page and the about me page may be a little bit redundant. It may not be, depends on how you market yourself. If you present yourself as a team or a group, such as myself, so I have the Nicholascore real estate group because I work with a handful of lenders, closing attorneys, inspectors, contractors, so I kind of have my own little arsenal of professionals that I can leverage and use to help my clients. If you want to position yourself like that, the company profile page may be very useful and beneficial because it allows you to write about and speak about your business as a company and everything that you're able to provide for your clients. If you're a solo agent and you don't want to market yourself that way, then you don't have to use a company profile page. And I'll show you later on how you can actually delete it so it doesn't show up on your website. But for today, we'll walk through how to build your company profile page. So the first thing is navigation. So I'm going to click on this drop-down menu here and navigation. So what we can do here is move the order in which the company profile page will show up in the drop-down menu from the navigation on the home page. So right now it has company profile starting as the first site within the drop-down. But if I click on these 6 dots, I can drag it to different position. I can move it to wherever I would like. So I can leave it as the second position. And you can always rearrange this later on as well if you choose. The next is search engine optimization. So this is going to be the information that we put on the page that can be seen, but also is metadata that allows Google, Bing, and Yahoo to find your website and index it against relevant search terms. So when people are searching for real estate agent Atlanta, you can be shown in those search results. So page title, company profile, but you can easily update this. So I can change this to about Nicholascore Real Estate Group. And then the URL slug. So this is going to be what the slug is going to be after the .kw.com. So it's going to default to about-us. You can change this to anything you want. You can't use any special characters or spaces, but you can just leave it as is if you'd like. And then SEO description. So as the search engines are indexing your website and it is showing up in the search results, this will be the information that is shown in that search result. So for here, I'll put something, learn more about the Nicholascore Real Estate Group at Keller Williams First Atlanta, and how we can help with all of your real estate needs. And then put my phone number. So this will be the copy that shows in Google when the nicholascore.kw.com/about-us page is shown. So quick question, where do I get to this page on command? Sorry. So Kelly, what you'll do is in command on the bottom left-hand corner, you'll click on the consumer applet. It looks like a little web page. Then in the tabs at the top, you'll click on agent websites or agent site pages. And then there should be a blue bar in the middle. And then to the right of that, it should say configure your site. And that will jump you into the Kelly guide, which is what we're working in right now. So SEO description, you can put anything you want here. I always recommend you include your name, Keller Williams First Atlanta, and your phone number, just so that way, if anyone doesn't actually want to click on the website, they can have your contact information right there. It's that easy. So next, we're going to start actually filling in the content of the website. So you can see over here to the left, it kind of already has a layout prepared. So some copy here, some copy over here, and these two images. So now we're just going to fill in the information. So I can label this just put in whatever quick little overall bio. The Nicholascore Real Estate Group provides outstanding service to the Metro Atlanta market. You can just put whatever you want. I imagine most agents have a handful of copy and biographies that they can use. So just kind of put in whatever information you'd like to there. And then the next are these two sections. We can't add sections. We can't delete sections. This site is already built out for us. It's really just dragging and dropping the information in those sections. So what we can do is just fill in the information. So headline 1, this may be about working with sellers. And then you can enter, we sell homes very quickly. And include what we do for our clients. Perfect. So you can see how that updates as I'm typing it. And then here is an image. This is just a default image. If you really wanted to, you could delete this image, but we can also upload our own image. So I'm just going to upload something really quickly. So let me pull in from my computer. So this is just an image that I created in designs and just saved on my computer. So you see, it's that easy just to save a new image there. Scrolling through section 2, we can label this working with buyers. We have a 90%. I don't know how to write this. We win 90% of the offers we submit on behalf of our clients. I'm just making stuff up as we go through the training. So here you can just quickly put, whatever text you want. And then again, I will update a new image. So I'll just click upload. Just another standard image that I have. Make this just a little bit bigger. Perfect. And it's a square image. This is just an old listing that I have. So that's kind of how it renders. Pretty easy. Now we'll get down to the footer headline. Let us know how we can help with your real estate needs. And then give us a call at 404-414-8238 or email at nicholascore@kw.com. So you can see it's that simple to start making updates to this information. If you put something here that you later want to change, you want to update an image, update some of the copy, you can make those changes in command, so don't worry. I would recommend trying to put in as much of the information as you can while we're in the Kelly guide, but we can always make those edits in command, or we can always walk back through the Kelly guide later on to recreate your website. So now that we've input all of the information, we will click on continue, and this is going to save it and take us to the About Me page. So again, we'll start at the top. Do I click on the site and app settings? No. So you click on the agent site page tab, and then within there should be a link that says configure your site, and you would click on that. And that's how you get into the Kelly guide. So we're going to do basically the same thing here for the About Me page. So we'll start with the navigation. So it's going to have us, this is going to be in the second position. We can just drag and drop it if we want it in a different position. Search engine optimization. So page title and about the information that will show up in our search results. So I'm going to change this to About Nick. I can change this to About Nick as well. SEO description. Learn more about Nick at the Nicholascore Real Estate Group at Keller Williams, First Atlanta, 404-414-8238. It's that simple. You just want to put your name, our office name, your phone number, just in that way when people see those search results, they know exactly who the information is about, where they are, and it's good to go. And now we'll scroll down to content. And again, all of this information is pulled directly from your marketing profile. If you have a longer bio, you can put that in here. This part of our website is all about you as the agent. So you can make this all about you, make it as long as you want. Also, just make sure that's somewhat interesting, that someone would actually want to read it. And again, you can always go back and you can make edits to this information later on if you'd like. So this is just pulled in the quick bio that I wrote for my marketing profile. And then scrolling down, contact title, contact Nicholas, my phone number, email address, everything looks like it renders properly. So I'm going to click continue. And then the last page is going to be the Contact Us page. So again, the navigation, search engine optimization. I think the page title is fine as Contact Us. leave it as contact, SEO description, contact Nicholascore Real Estate Group at Keller Williams, First Atlanta, 414-8238. And we go to the content, and I can up page header. We can name this contact Nicholascore page content. Get started. Get started on with I don't know, whatever you want to write here. Get started accomplishing your real estate goals. Estate goals with the Nicholascore Real Estate Group today. Again, you can put in whatever information you like. Then we have these boxes here: first name, last name, email address, phone number. We can't make any edits to those. And then below here for the message, we have a message hint. And this is text that's going to show up in that gray box, or sorry, in this box, but it's going to be grayed out so that the visitors to your website know that they can go ahead and type over this. But it lets them it nudges them to know that they, are they looking to buy or sell? What's their time frame? Where are they searching? What's their budget? So they can include some of that information. So it's going to be most helpful as when you receive that information from them. And if anyone fills in this information and hits send message, it will send you an email and it will show up as a new lead in Command. So you'll get a notification in Command as well through the Kelly app that you have a new lead that you need to reach out to. Scrolling down, check the phone number and email address. For some reason, Command doesn't always put in the dashes. So anytime that you see your phone number without dashes, just add that in there to make sure it renders properly on the website. So now that we've completed the contact me, I'm going to click save and continue. And now it is going to be saving our whole website. So we have walked through creating our whole website and everything is good to go and it is live. So we've completed the Kelly guide. We have a handful of different options here. We can go read through some frequently asked questions. We can go to site settings, or we can create more sites. I'm going to go to manage sites. I want to go back into Command. And since we just walked through configuring our website, I want to click on this URL here to show you what my website looks like. So find your dream home. Well, I guess I've made this website a couple times, so it's not rendering properly. I have a quick question. Oh yeah, so I will show you the net. So it's because I've gone through this training and done the Kelly guide a couple times, it's not actually showing properly, but you can see over here, I have my First Atlanta logo and then my personal logo. The images on the background are rotating through. I have my copy here, find your dream home. And if I scroll down, here's my featured listings. So this is a new feature that I'll walk you through in just a moment. So you can add your featured listings to your website. So you can let your clients know that you're going to advertise those on your website. And interested, let's talk down here. And here's all my information. Here's my headshot. I told you how it renders in a circle. So you want to make sure that looks good there, and my logo. And then all of our information here. And then down here at the drop-down menu, I can update this. I can go here to About Nicholascore Real Estate Group. This is the one I just created today. Company profile. And you can see this is what it looks like. Let us know how we can help with your real estate needs. And then About Nick. And then Contact Us. I have a couple questions here. So question is, if I create a URL to my website externally, will it copy and link it here? What do you mean by that, Cecilia? if you wouldn't mind unmuting yourself so we can talk through that. And then Nanette, no, our listings are not added automatically to the website. We will have to set those up as featured listings in Command, and we're going to walk through that in just a moment.
Well, you mentioned that you couldn't use a standard URL inside here. And I was wondering if you'd already created an external web page. You know, you can't marry them together to link it to the info there. Yeah, do you understand?
No, I'm not.
If I have a site, but it doesn't have the .kw.com or the /kw.com, then I can't really utilize it inside here.
That is correct. So let's say if you have CeciliaSaxon.com, for instance, and you have a whole website built out there through a third-party service, no, you can't use the KW interface that we've just walked through in the Kelly Guide in that in CeciliaSaxon.com.
Okay, so this would just give you one more, it'd be a different address, but it gives you one more place to be found through Google and other things, but it's kind of an internal thing.
Well, it's no, this, yes, the first part of that, of your statement is correct. It's not, but it is not an internal website. This website is for everybody. And we can share it with consumers, clients, put it on our business cards. That being said, if you have CeciliaSaxon.com, you could get rid of your current website that you have and then have CeciliaSaxon.com forward to CeciliaSaxon.kw.com. So if anyone typed in Cecilia Saxon, so I'll show you. So for my website, I own Nicholascore.com. So if I type in Nicholascore.com, hit enter, it automatically forwards to Nicholascore.kw.com. I would have never known as a consumer. I would have never noticed, but here I am on my website. And it's the exact same website. It just forwards. And that's set it, and you have to set that up in your, well, in GoDaddy.com or wherever you purchase your URL from.
Thank you.
All right, so I'm going to come back to Command. So I'm in the agent websites portion of the consumer applet. You can see here I have all these different sites. Only the sites that have the green eye next to it allow me to preview that site. So I can look here and see that this company profile page that I created on June 23rd, is not available. It's not an active sub page. So if I wanted to, I could just come over here and I can click delete and delete that page. So I have a bunch of pages, so I can just, delete this, delete, this old one. So let's say now you've gone through, we've created these web pages and we're like, you know what, I actually want to make an edit to them. I want to, update some of the text, or I rewrote my bio. Well, you can do that. You would think over here in these three dots, so you could click on them and it would allow us to edit. Unfortunately, we can't edit here in the consumer applet, but we can edit in the designs applet. So what we'll do is we'll come over here to designs. And then I'm going to search. I'll click on agent website up here at the top, and that's just going to sort out all the other designs that I've created, so I can only see the pages as a part of my agent website. And these are all dated, so I know that I created my company profile page today on July 21st. So I want to edit this, so I'm going to click on it, and it will open up in just a moment. The editor. I would recommend that you come up here and you rename your profile or name this page, just because we'll have to go through and add this to our website. So I'm just going to name this company profile updated 7/21. And now I basically can kind of go through the whole process again and make any updates to the information that I want. So these are a bunch of widgets over here on the right-hand side that we can drag and drop into the site. So if I wanted to kind of reformat everything, I could. But if I just want to update the actual content on the websites, I'll go to Configure Widgets. And then here we have company profile, and I can update this to Nicholascore Real Estate Group. Oh no, just one letter too long. I'll just change this to Nicholascore Real Estate Group just for today. Intro text, I can update, anything here. If you want to update your header image, you can do that here. Why don't we try that? Let's make this our header image. And then I'll click Save and Apply. Perfect, and it will make those edits for us. All right. And again, I can make any edits to this text down here or images down below. And just click Save and Apply. And then once you're good to go and let's say I just want to update those two things, I can click Save Changes. And this will publish my site, so it is now available to be seen. Now it's going to drop us back into the agent site pages, and you'll see here is the name, company profile updated 7/21. And when I come over here to the right, it's not an active subpage. I have to actually go through and add this page to my website. So to do that, I'm going to come to Site and App Settings, and then I'm going to click on Site Pages, and I'll scroll down, and I am going to see here where it says About Nicholascore Real Estate Group. I'm going to click on those three dots, and I'm going to select Page. And I'm going to then select the company profile updated 7/21 because I know that is the website that I just updated and I made those changes to, and I'll click Continue. And then Save Page Changes. So now if I come over here, if I come home, click on Refresh, let this reload, come over here, About Nicholascore Real Estate Group. Now we can see it made a change to the photo, the header there, and the rest of the information stayed the same.
So Nick, could you go say that again, because you lost me. So you're updating within your widgets on the widgets configure button that you changed some information, but then after that you kind of lost me on what you had to do. So that's not an instantaneous update, because what are these things that are listed here? Are these pages?
Yes, so it's kind of confusing and it's not super intuitive, I will admit that. So it's kind of set up as if you make any updates to your website or any of the pages on your website, Command kind of has a little fail safe, so that way you just don't make updates incorrectly and then they automatically show on your website. They want you to make sure that all those changes are correct. So you have to go through and actively add that updated website to your updated page to your website. So when I made those updates in the editor, I clicked Save Page Changes. It brought me back here to the agent site pages, and here it listed my new updated page of company profile updated 7/21. But over here on the right-hand side, previously, this eye icon, the preview icon, was grayed out. And that lets me know that this is not an active subpage, which means that it's not actually active on my website. So in order for those changes that I just made to show up on my website, I have to add the updated page to my website. Are you tracking me so far?
I am very much tracking you now. Yes, thank you. Okay.
So then to go through the process of adding this updated page to my site, I click on Site and App Settings. And then over here on the right-hand side, I click on Site Pages. And then on the left-hand side, we have a menu of all the pages that we have on our website. I have most of these are redundant because I've gone through the Keller guide a couple times. So you should only have 3. And so I made an update to the company profile page, so the About Nicholascore Real Estate Group page. So if I want to update the actual page content, I click on these 3 dots on the right-hand side, and I select Page. Now this menu.
Wow. That's a whole lot of steps. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's really just to prevent. Let's say I went in and I was just making some updates and I was playing around, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just kind of work on progress, and I click save. I don't want all those changes to automatically show up on my website, because someone may visit and be like, Nick's website looks a mess because this one page is like half done.
Right. Or like in your training mode, you're making all these changes and you don't want that to be, on your personal site. I get that. Yeah.
So it's a fail safe. It is a handful of steps, probably more steps than I would deem necessary, but it is the process. And it's not, it really, once you understand the process and the different steps you have to take, it really just takes probably an extra 30 seconds. But it is a nice little fail safe to make sure that all of the content we have on our website is very intentional.
Okay. Gotcha.
Yeah. So once you click on the select page, it'll show a list of all of the pages that you have available that you've created. So it should just be a few for you, since you haven't created a bunch of pages. And then just click on continue. So select the page and click continue. And since I'm not actually changing it, it's not going to let me save. And then click save page changes.
Okay.
And that's how you'd get that updated page to render on your website.
Okay.
So, any questions about updating pages or adding them to your website?
And I guess the other thing to make us aware, these little eyes over here are to let us know which pages are actually active.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So now that we have gone through, we've gone through the Kelly guide to create our website. We've edited one of the pages of the website and added it to our site. I want to walk you through site and app settings, because I want to show you how to update the header images that I talked about, add featured listings. So to do that, we're going to click on the site and app settings. And this is going to be a place where we're able to manage the overall settings for our website and our mobile app. It's going to default us here to the general tab. And here we can update that header text. So rather than having to go through that process that we just went through for updating the company profile page, you can make some simple changes right here. So for me, I want to update the header text to start your home search here. And then here are my 3 header or hero images. You should have 4 or 5. But if I wanted to delete one, I could just click on the trash can, or I could upload a 1200 by 1200 sized image and do that right here. Add virtual tours. So with COVID, a lot of agents are adding virtual tours to their listings. So if you want to add one, so let's say you have like a 2-minute long video and you've uploaded that to YouTube or to your Google Dropbox, you can select your listing here. So let's come over here. Let's see. I've had some issues recently with my listing not showing up. So here we go. So you would search for your listing and you would select your listing, and then it would allow you to paste in the URL for that YouTube video or that Google Dropbox video to that virtual tour. And I'll show you that in just a moment. I guess I removed that. My listing just expired for the one up in Kent. So I'll click cancel here, but that's how you would add a virtual tour. And then you can edit your active tours here. So to show you the same thing, all of your listings, and you can edit the URL there. One recommendation I would make that I learned the hard way is that in order for you to use your virtual tour, your video, you can't upload it to YouTube and have it render on FMLS. You have to upload it to Google Dropbox, and then you can use the Google Dropbox URL in your FMLS listing. So that was pretty interesting to learn. So just a little food for thought. So here's how you can edit your virtual tours. Pretty simple. And then you click preferences. Oh, this is new. This is a new setting. So how cool is this? So preferences, display Keller Mortgage on my app and site. So if you want to enable that, or you could disable and display Kelly Covered on the app and site. So Kelly Covered is the new Keller Insurance, Keller Williams Insurance option. So you can enable that as well, or disable. And just click Save Changes. The next tab is URLs. So here is where you could update your subdomain. So if you wanted to change it, if I wanted to make this Nicholascore Real Estate Group or whatever I wanted to, I could update that URL here. To the right, you can see we have a custom domain. So that Vanity URL, it's grayed out because, like as I mentioned earlier, we're not able to use it. But we will sooner than later be able to use a Vanity custom domain for our website. And then below this is our app URL. So this is where you will find the link to your URL to download your app. So I'll click copy here, and then I will open up a new page just so I can show you what this website for our app looks like. Accept cookies. So this is what you could share with clients if you were like, oh, hey, download my app, and you can start searching all these listings. This is what it looks like. Pretty generic. Here's my headshot and my name that's pulled in from my marketing profile. And then they can put in their phone number and send a link to themselves. But by giving clients this URL and having it affiliated with me, when they download the app, it'll automatically connect their app on their phone to me as an agent. So it just simplifies the process. But within these site and app settings, this is where you find that URL.
So Nick, I'm just going to ask a couple of questions about the app. So this is a way that we can email them the app?
Yes.
Okay. Where the other way is that we just take it and we text it to them.
Correct. And we're going to walk through sharing the app, setting it up today as well. So we'll walk through that in more detail in the different ways that we can share it. Because I think sending this URL to our clients is one way. I don't think it's necessarily the simplest and cleanest way. So we'll talk through how to do that as well.
Okay, but this would then, because of the phone number, it would eventually get them the same thing that they were texting it to them. Okay.
Okay, correct. So the next tab is featured listings. And I want to point out that this featured listings capability was added based on the feedback of agents. So Labs hears when agents have feedback, what they have to say, what would make their sites or this whole command experience better. So if you have any recommendations or feedback, please share it with Labs, because that's what got featured listings active on our websites. So as a part of most of on our Placer websites is we could promote our own listings on the website. So if anyone went to our sites, it would be right there and they wouldn't have to actually search for it. It's pretty simple. You would just come down here to select listings and you would search for your listing. So this is going to show my two listings. This one in Canton, we just took off the market last week. But you can see here, I have my active listing here in Smyrna. It's under contract. So you would select all the listings that you want. I guess you could come over here, and if you had permission, you could pull up some other listings as well. So let's see if we have Main Street. I guess you could select that listing as well. So, but you'd want to get permission. So maybe if you're a new agent or if you're a mentor, you may say, hey, mentees, you could promote my listings on your website, and it becomes mutually beneficial for everybody. And then you just click done. And that is the list of featured listings. And I'll come back to my website. If I come home, scroll down, and you can see here are my featured listings. So it only has this one here because my other one is no longer active. And you can update the headline here. Next tab is theme. So as we walked through earlier, it's really just the difference between the red and the dark theme. Not a whole lot of difference. Doesn't make a ton of change. And as I said, KW is synonymous. Red is synonymous with KW. So I always like to leave it as red. And then the last tab is the Site Pages tab. And we were worked on this earlier when we were updating our website. So anytime that you create a new website or a new page, here is where you would add it to your site. Any questions about going through the site and app settings pages? All right, so now I'm going to walk through creating a new site, so a new page to be on our website. So to do that, I'm going to click create a new site, and I want this to be on my agent site. So this could be if you have a ton of information about yourself, or if you want to create a preferred partner page, or talk about the home inspectors that you really like to work with. Whatever you want, you can create it, but you want to select on my agent site. If you select as a standalone page, you will never be able to connect this page to your main agent site. So click create page. And this is going to take us into that page builder with all of the widgets, and it's really simple. So today, let's create a blog. So I'm going to name this 7/21/2020. So one of the feedbacks that bit of feedback I've gotten back from a lot of agents is the need for a blog. And I know that Labs is working on creating that blog functionality. It was really popular within the Play Store website, and it's a great way that us as agents are able to provide really relevant information, great content to get people to come back to our website time and time again. Unfortunately, at the moment, we don't have that blog functionality, but there are a few workarounds with that. And I want to show you how to do that as well as create a new page. How many of you are familiar with HomeKeeper? So as a KW agent, we get a free HomeKeeper account, and HomeKeeper actually has a blog that they write and they share, and we can use as our own. So we're able to leverage that HomeKeeper blog on our website and make it look like it's our own. So I want to show you how to do that. So one thing that's really, really cool about the Command website builder is that you can actually pull in that HTML text from other websites here. So what I want to do is I'm going to select a widget, because you always have to have at least one widget on your profile. Actually, you know what? I'm going to show you how to do it two ways. So the first way, be really simple. Let me do a content block, and I'm going to add text. All right, and then I want to go to the HomeKeeper website. So let me come to HomeKeeper. I'm going to sign in. And you should automatically get login information when you join KW. Now, when I'm in HomeKeeper, I have this area called widgets, and I have two widgets. So I'm going to click on embed widget, and then I'm going to come over to the my blog widget, and I'm going to select the iframe widget. Iframes are basically loading another website within a website. It's kind of tricky. Consumers don't really know the difference, but for us, it's basically what we're going to do is we're going to take this information and content from HomeKeeper and load it onto our agent website. So I'm going to come right here. I'm going to click copy code. I'm going to come back to command, and I'm just going to paste that code there, click out, give it a second, and it should, there we go. It'll pull in all of that content. So we see this is what it looks like. Now, to be honest with you, I don't really think this looks that great because it just kind of is there. We don't have any headers for this. It just kind of looks kind of sloppy. So what we can do is we can take one of the widgets. So I'm going to delete this text box. I'm going to come up to widgets. And I think the agent profile is one of the most popular widgets to use for adding this blog feature. So I'm going to add the agent website. So just click and drag that over here. All right. Now it's going to preload with all of my information from my marketing profile. No worries, because we are going to configure the widget and remove all that information. So I'll come over to configure widget, click on agent profile. Now, since this is going to be a blog, I don't need a headshot. So I'm going to change this photo, and you can make it anything that you think is relevant to a blog. I'm just going to use that photo of a dog.
Okay, Nick, so I'm just going to go back and ask. So are you truly changing the agent profile, or you just taking that widget called agent profile and going to make it into a blog? I mean, because
so I'm just taking the agent profile widget and making it into a blog. I'm not actually changing the agent profile page on my website.
okay, it's just confusing.
Okay. Well, hey, that's why we're here, so we can talk through it, because I want you to walk away from our training this morning not being confused. So
Okay. So, but you did the other one, and you just said it didn't look that good, and that was just the text widget.
yeah. So well, it was just a text block. So let me come right here. If you come to layout blocks, or sorry, content blocks, and I just dragged over the text blocks.
Okay.
And pasted that that iframe script in there. But
okay, so like, then go back. All right, so then go back, because I think you're just moving very fast. So then go back to, then you've got the agent profile, and you're just going to but the name up at the top is blog 721, right? That's what it's going to be renamed. But yep. You're just using the it's kind of like using the format of agent profile.
Absolutely. So
okay.
To clarify, I'm not touching my agent profile page that's live on my website right now. I'm just using the agent profile widget for formatting, because I think it's pretty and it will look nice when I load the blog inside of it. And this is going to be a totally separate new page on my website.
Got you. Thank you. I don't know. I'm sure everybody else probably had a similar question. I'm sorry if I delayed it for everybody.
This training's for you, so ask as many questions as you like. So I added my widget. So I'm going to go back to configure widgets, and I will make those updates to those changes. So the headshot. So I'm going to change this just to a picture that I think is relevant for a blog. And then I'll update the title of this page to blog, company role and profile. Let's name this. This will be up-to-date real estate information. Blog bio title, and we'll just name this blog. And then we have this agent bio. So I'm going to delete all of that. And then within the agent bio, I'm going to paste in that iframe text. And we'll come down. We can leave the contact information, because we still want them to contact us after they read our blog. All right, well, I guess those dashes aren't working. Agent email, and I'm going to click save and apply. And now you can see how using the agent profile widget, I'm able to leverage that for a blog. So here we have our little image, blog, up-to-date real estate information. and it loads that blog inside of the widget of the my profile or agent profile widget. And this looks really nice, in my opinion. So I'm going to click Save Changes. So I'm going to save this website. Yes, I would like to make it visible to others. All right.
Not a one and done type of situation. Like, does it update the blog, or do you have to go back periodically and find new blog information?
So Homekeeper automatically updates it. So I think once a week they'll post a new article, and that iframe code will automatically pull in that new article into it. So you don't, it's one and done.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
So here you can see I created my new site called Blog 7/21/2020, and the preview icon is gray, so it's not active. So I have to add this to my website. So to do that, we're going to go back to Site and App Settings. We'll go to Site Pages. And now I'll come down here to the bottom, and I need to add a page. So I'm going to click Add Page. I'm going to select the Blog 7/21 and click Continue. And then I fill out the information over here on the right. So page title, I'm just going to name this Blog 7/21. And the only reason I'm naming it with today's date is because I have another blog page that I created from a previous training. So we'll just, you know, kind of keep them separate. Blog URL slug, Blog 7/21, SEO description, and I'll just read the latest real estate news and information from Nicholascore Real Estate Group at Keller Williams, First Atlanta. So we're adding that same SEO description information that we did when going through the Kelly guide. So that way, if anyone searched for real estate blog Atlanta, maybe mine will show up. So once I've added all this information, I'll come down to the bottom left-hand corner and click Save Page Changes. All right, I'll come back to my website. Let me wait for the Zoom link to move. Click on my website. I will click Home, Refresh, and then I'll come down to the drop-down menu. We see we have our Blog 7/21 page that we just built. Click on that, and here is the blog. So you can see how that renders inside of here. And it just looks really professional in my opinion, and then we still have our contact information. And if they click on any of the information, so let's say they want to read, is it time to build indoor play space? Click read more, and it will open up in a new browser, and it will go to Homekeeper. And then here's my picture because I created my profile on Homekeeper. So it's just a nice way to get around not having that blog functionality, but still wanting to provide great content for our clients and anyone visiting our website. Any questions about agent site pages before we jump into building landing pages?
So it just appears, if you go back to your website real quick.
Yep.
Okay, and go back to the home page there. So in order for them to find it, they have to then go to under Core and then get to the blog, just like they've got to. Can you page through and get to the blog anywhere, or do you have to do it from there?
So the way that the KW site is set up is the only way to get to any of the other pages is through this drop-down menu.
Okay.
Now, the Placer website had the menu bar along the top here. So when you were on any page, you could see all the different sites that you could go to right here. All that functionality has been moved into this drop-down menu here. And that.
Okay. Now, featured listings, where would that be?
So I'm on my home page, and I just scroll down.
Okay, so that is on that homepage. Okay, good. It's just the other stuff is not. Okay.
Correct.
Okay.
Your listings right here. So if you clicked on it, it would take you to that listing within. Why is it showing as city side? That is, I got to fix that.
Is there something you're not telling us? No, I'm just kidding.
And then it would, scroll here. And then if you had a virtual tour, they could click the virtual tour there.
Okay. I mean, I set up this website, a couple of months ago, but I've just never really done anything with it. So this is, and obviously it's like if you don't water it or you don't feed it, it's not gonna, render any fruit. So I need to work on that.
Yeah. So one thing to keep in mind with the agent website is these sites are really all about the consumer and their real estate search capabilities. If these websites, and I know Hutch talked about this numerous times, really are designed to look and compete with Zillow, Realtor, Trulia, where when you land on this website, the main thing you're going to do is start looking for a home. Start searching. So that's why we have this drop-down menu here, is to keep everything streamlined and simple and focused on real estate. It's not about us as agents like our old sites were. So
makes sense. Okay, that helped. I'm glad you kind of put the background to that.
So when you say you haven't done much to it, there isn't really a ton for you to do, or that you don't necessarily need to do, because the site experience is all about that search capability. It's all about being able to save their search, having up to the minute access to an updated data versus Zillow and Realtor that's going to, keep things, show listings as for sale for weeks after they've gone under contract. We make sure that through KWLS that all this information is 100% updated immediately. So it's going to be a better search experience for our clients to use our website. And it's all tied to command. So when they set up, if they create a sign up, a login, they appear in the top right-hand corner, all their search criteria, everything they look at, all is saved in our command, and we can see. And so I could call them up and say, hey, I saw that you were looking at that new listing off of Roswell Road. I thought we were looking up in Marietta, up in East Cobb, not Sandy Springs. What's the difference?
Could you possibly show us where you see that in command? Because I've gotten some leads, but I haven't been able to necessarily see what they've searched. Maybe we can do that at the end.
So yeah, we can do that. And I will show you that as a part of going through the app as we talk through the mobile app, because it would be the same thing for if clients are using the website versus the mobile app, where we find that data. It's in the contact card. So whenever you have a contact, you can look in their timeline and it shows up there. But we're going to walk through that this morning. Any other questions before we jump into landing pages?
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so now we're going to go through landing pages. The main difference between landing pages and agent website is that landing pages are really meant to be a one-off, where all the information that someone visiting a website is contained right there. They don't need to read a blog. They don't need to do anything else. It can just be all right there. Most commonly, landing pages are going to be used to promote listings, promote open houses, or if you're doing any kind of fun event for a community or neighborhood that you're farming, you can build a landing page for that. Because you don't necessarily want that to be on your website, because you only want people that have this URL to have access to that information. So I'm going to create a landing page this morning. So to do that, I'll create a new site in the top right-hand corner. But this time, I'm going to select as a standalone page. And standalone page is synonymous for landing page. So I'll click as a standalone page and create page. It's going to be a very similar editor that we were just in moments ago when we were updating and building out the blog. We have all of our widgets over here on the right-hand side. Now, we have some additional widgets and missing a few that we would have for the actual website. It's because it's not going to be the same experience, so we don't need an agent profile widget, for instance. So I'm going to get started by updating this up here. And I'm going to make this a listing to promote a listing. So I'll name this 3354 Dunn Street Southeast, training 721. Perfect. So we'll just walk through dragging and dropping the different widgets over. So I always start with the branded header. So you'll see here, it pulls in most of the information from the marketing profile. We will be able to go through and configure this. We can add a title here as well. After the agent header or the branded header, if you have a tour of your listing, a virtual tour, I recommend adding a video. Like put the video right here so it's the first thing they see, where they can see the, walk through the house before they ever have to click through the pictures. Personal preference. So I'll scroll down because now I want to add the listing widget. So I want them to have access to the full listing information, all the pictures, and the map. So I'll click listing and I'll just drag that down here and that will load. And it's going to show just a placeholder listing for a made up listing in Austin. So below the listing, I like to add the Market Snap widget. And the Market Snap widget is going to show what the real estate activity has been like in that neighborhood. And this is really unique because it's all based on those insights that agents have provided in Command, as well as that up to the minute data that KWLS pulls in from the MLSs. It's going to separate you from other agents because it's going to show you as being the expert in that neighborhood, in that area, because you know exactly what's for sale, what's pending, what's closed, cost per square foot, how many days listings are on the market. So it really is going to separate you from other agents. So I'll just grab the Market Snap widget and drag that down and put that below the listing widget. So you can kind of, see some of the stats here that are going to be pulled in. And then below that, I like to use your local expert. Actually, you know what? Below that, I want to do the lead form. So they've watched the video, they've scrolled through the listing, they have looked at the market stats. Now they're saying to themselves, I'm actually really interested in this listing, so I want to submit my information to an agent. So I'm going to put the lead form next. So that way they can submit their information. And then below that, I want to add your local expert. Now you have a handful of different widgets that you could use. You could use your local expert. You could use agent branding. And you can also use download my app. I like your local expert because it's simple and it's clean, and it also includes a link to download the app. So it kind of does a couple things all in one widget. So I'll click and drag your local expert. So you can see that's what it looks like. And then below that, I always like to add the legal footer. So we always want to make sure that we are compliant. And this will pull in the First Atlanta logo and all the information for the office. So let's do a quick double check and make sure that we have all of the correct widgets that we want to include. So we have our branded header, our video, the listing widget, the Market Snap widget right here. So all those stats, the lead form, the local expert, and the legal footer. Any questions on the widgets, why we added these ones versus other ones, dragging them, dropping them? Any questions about that? All right.
No.
So now we're going to go through and we're going to configure those widgets and update them to the correct information. So click on Configure Widgets in the bottom right-hand corner. And we'll just walk through each one from the top to the bottom. So I'll click on Branded Header. And here we have header text. So we can give this a title. So I can say Smyrna's newest listing. And I'll come down here. I'll double check all the information from my marketing profile. And like I mentioned earlier, sometimes Command puts the dashes in the phone number. Sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't have it in there, I always recommend that you add it just so it looks like a normal phone number, and then click Save and Apply. And it's going to make that update there to be Smyrna's newest listing. Next is our video. So we'll give this a headline, take a tour of 3354 Dunn Street Southeast. Now you have two options here. Is you could use a video URL, or you could actually upload the video directly into Command. I have this on YouTube, so I'm just going to pull that link really quickly. Let me come here. Now I'm going to use, it's a different listing for my one that we just withdrew in Canton. But I just want to show you guys how to use this video widget because it's pretty cool. So paste in the URL there, and then click Save and Apply. And it loads that video. This is a description for your video. You should place a description. Actually, you know what we can do here is we can take a tour. And then down here, I can just update this to 3354 Dunn Street Southeast in Smyrna's Forest Hills neighborhood. Now, the reason I'm not going to put a long description there is because right below this widget, we have the listing, and that has the full description of the property and all the information about it. So let me actually spell this correctly. All right, and then click Save and Apply. Just because I made that quick update. Perfect. And now I'll click on the arrow to go through the next widget, which will be the listing. So here we will browse listings and pick out the information. So I'm going to search for this property address, 3354 Dunn Street Southeast. Now it pulls in both the Georgia MLS as well as the FMLS listings. When you're creating this landing page for this listing, I recommend that you pull in the Georgia MLS listing because in FMLS, when you're writing that property description, the property description box is fairly small. So they recently, well, I guess probably 6 to 8 months ago, added that second box where you can extend the property description. However, when Command is pulling that information in from FMLS, it doesn't recognize that second box of description as being a part of the property description. So if you use the FMLS listing, your landing page will look like it's missing half of the text and it doesn't make sense. But for Georgia MLS, when you input that listing information, the description box is much longer, so you can fit the full description in there. So pull in from Georgia MLS to make sure that all the information is pulled in correctly. So you can see here, you can tell the difference between Georgia MLS by the MLS number. So Georgia MLS usually is an 8, whereas FMLS is now in the 6s. And also let you know here where it says Georgia-GA-MLS versus over here it's GA_FMLS. So I'm going to click Select. And then it's going to pull in all of the images from the listing. And you can change whichever one you would like to have as the main header image. I'm just going to leave it as the main image for the listing. And then click Save and Apply. If I scroll down, you can see here, perfect, there's the listing, information all about the home, about the property. You can see here's the full property description. And then here's a carousel of all of the listing photos. And then the details. And a map of the listing. The next widget is our Market Snap widget. So to update this, we have a header here that would update, it says Barton Hills neighborhood trends. I like the way it has the neighborhood in black font and neighborhood trends in blue font. So I'm not going to update the header because it will update it will change the name of the neighborhood automatically. So to update the neighborhood, type in the postal code for that area. And then right below here is going to be a list of all the neighborhoods in that area. They're not in alphabetical order. I don't know the exact order that they are in, so just scroll through and find the neighborhood you're looking for. So this is Forest Hills. Click on Save and Apply. And when I scroll down, it'll show me here's the map of Forest Hills. Now it says Forest Hills Neighborhood Trends. I like the way it looks with the blue font. It's a little map of the neighborhood, all of our stats, active days on market, average sold price, average cost per square foot. So just some great information that someone visiting this landing page would probably not have from another agent or from Realtor.com or Zillow. So it just helps you stand out again as that market expert. So we've updated that. So now I'm going to click on Next and go to the lead form. The only thing you can update here is the header, interested, let's talk. You can, if you have something else you'd want to say, you can use that here. Clicking on the next widget, local expert. This is all pulled in from our marketing profile. So just double check the information here to make sure it's correct. Name, phone number, realtor, license number, bio. We only are allowed 280 characters here, so you probably have to delete a fair amount of your bio. Mine's one sentence, so it works. And then phone number, link to our app. So this doesn't automatically load here, so what we're going to need to do is get the link to our app. I have that in my inbox, or in my signature, so I'm just going to really quickly, I'm going to copy that out of my email signature. All right, so I'll paste that right here. Now you'll notice there is a red asterisk next to the link to download the app. You do have to include that. It won't let you save this widget or save the landing page without including the link to your app. If for whatever reason you don't have it on handy, you could just type in google.com for the time being, and then you could go grab that URL out of your site and app settings in the consumer app, and then come back into this landing page and edit it. All right, so I have everything here. I'll click Save and Apply. Scroll down just to make sure everything looks good. Perfect. And then I'm going to click on the next button to go to the legal footer and just double check to make sure the information's all right. Again, the phone number with the dashes. Always want to double check that. All right. So everything looks really good. It should have updated properly. Now, one thing that seems a little odd to me is that this video widget takes up the full width of the web page, and that's huge. A little big in my opinion. So I actually want to show you really quickly how we can edit that so it fits more snugly in the website and isn't so big. So if you click on the widget, the video widget, and you can come over here to this paintbrush, that allows us to edit. And then I can come down here to dimensions, and the height and width are going to be automatically updated, and you can select this to change the max width of it to be 75%. And then our margins, now what we'll want to do, since that only takes up 75%, we need to adjust the margins on the right and left-hand side. So the right-hand side, we'll do 12.5%, and the left-hand side, we'll do 12.5%. And that will put this video player, it'll be 75% the width of the page, and it'll sit right in the middle. So let me click Publish Page. Yes. And now here is our URL for our landing page. But before we double check it, we can actually shorten this URL because we can see this looks really strange. It's just a bunch of random letters and numbers, and we don't want our landing page to look suspicious. We want people to click on it. So we can edit that URL by clicking change URL. And then we can edit all of that information after that /. So I'll name this 3353 Dunn Street, Southeast, and I'm gonna name this 07/21/2020 and click create. Perfect. So you can see here, it's updated the URL. And now the date looks kind of funny, but it is now a purposeful URL. So I'm going to click on this URL. Oh, okay. So it did not update. Okay, so it looks like there's an error with the YouTube link. So let's come back and let's edit the landing page. So we'll click edit. I'm actually going to need to go back to youtube.com, pull in I'm going to pull in this URL again. Let me come to configure widgets, video, save and apply. All right, let me come back over here, configure widgets, dimensions, width, 75%. Perfect, there we go. Now I've edited, made the change. And then margin on the left, we'll do 12.5%.
I think you used max width before. I don't know, is that the difference you think that was the error?
Oh, you know what? It probably was. Thank you. Perfect.
I'll never remember this, but I do.
Yeah. It's just helpful for me because I think having this video player not be the full size is a little bit easier on the eyes. So I was able to make those updates. So I'm going to click publish page. Yes, I want to make this visible. And I'm going to click on the URL. And now we can see how it is reformatted. I don't know why this isn't playing, but it should theoretically just play. And then here we have our listing, all the information for our listing, carousel, map, our market trends, contact us, about me, and then our legal footer. So this is a great tool that you can use when you have a new listing, so you can share this on Facebook rather than having to share a link to Zillow or Realtor or sharing a link to FMLS, because this is all going to be branded to you. Any leads that you get from this are going to come directly to you into your command. And if you do a paid ad, you can, if you're promoting your listing or promoting an open house, you can use this as the click-through URL. So it's just a great way that you can show off your clients' listings. It's another great tool that we have for marketing that really separates us from those other agents in the area. Any questions about landing pages? All right. So
You use those, you don't use this in conjunction with your website though. These are, like you said, a one and done. So the primary reason to do this would be to put it on Facebook.
Yeah, so the primary reason would be if you want to promote a new listing, so you can use this on Facebook. So that way some people can click through to look at the listing. You can use it for a Facebook ad. So that way, if you're trying to capture leads or want to promote that listing through a paid ad, this can be the click-through URL. And then you can also share with clients and say, hey, will you share this on your social media pages, so that way all your friends and family can see that we've just listed your house for sale. So it's a very personal, curated experience for those consumers visiting the landing page. All right. So lastly, we're going to talk through our mobile app.
Okay, I'm going to ask one question. So
Yep.
when you do a landing page, you mentioned 3 things. You can use it with paid ads, you can use it on your business Facebook page, and then you can share it with the client you've got the listing for and have them do it. Anything else comes to mind? Anybody else using them for anything else?
I mean, so I mainly use them for listings, but I know Heather Vanderland Cummings, they have done for a neighborhood that they're farming, they put together this kind of sweepstakes where they could enter in to be yard of the month. And they created a landing page for that they shared with that whole neighborhood. Yeah, I mean, you can use it for any sorts of reasons and any sorts of ways that you would like.
Okay.
But it really is going to be for that very one specific purpose. And you only want to share that information with certain people.
Okay, thank you.
You are welcome. So the next thing I want to talk through is the mobile app. So if I come back to site and app settings, come to URLs, here is the link to your URL to download the app. So you can click copy here. I'll just paste that up here. So we'll come back here. Now, there isn't a ton that you can do to set up your mobile app because very similar to the agent websites, the app is all about the consumer's ability to search for homes. Being able to layer on all the data from command with the information from the MLS and providing a really unique experience that also allows us to have back-end metrics on what our consumers are doing on the app. So by using this URL, you can share this with clients and say, hey, download my app here. You can go to this website and then put in your phone number and it'll send you a link to download. So you can put in your phone number here. I'm going to put mine in and I'm going to click send link. So I'll just say dismiss. And then I just got a text message and it says, click here to download the Keller Williams app. When I click on this, it will open up the App Store. I've already downloaded it, so it'll just have me open it. But when you download the app or when your clients download the app through the URL that they receive from this link, it's going to automatically connect your consumers to you as the agent. Because when you open up the app, the main thing that they're going to see is a map to search. So it's not going to log on and say, oh, Nick welcomes you to the KW app. It's going to say, start searching. The only thing that's going to be marketing us as agents is on the More tab on the bottom right-hand corner. It's just a little icon in the far right. You click on that. At the top, it says your agent, and it will have your name, your license number, and your information. Now, Nanette, we had talked about earlier the easiest way to share our app. My recommendation on how to share app with clients and customers is actually from the app. So I would recommend that you download your app on your phone, set up an account, so that way you can log in and use it as if you're a consumer. Then when you're on the More tab, you can click a button that says Share the KW app. And when you click on that, a pop-up will show up where you can send it as a text message to your most recently texted contacts. You can email it, send it as a Facebook link, Twitter link, Facebook Messenger link, and that way you can send the branded app, so your app, directly to new people. And that's going to be the simplest way, and it will save them that step from having to go to this URL and putting in their phone number.
Now, the other thing you could do is you could copy and paste that text message that was just sent to you.
You could, but that would require you saving that text message. So let's say you downloaded your app today, and then in 2 weeks you're out showing a client or meeting, a potential client. You say, "Oh, you could download my app." You don't want to have to scroll through your text messages from 2 weeks ago. You can
Right. Although I had sent it to me, you know, so I wouldn't necessarily be sending me a lot of stuff, but I understand what you're saying. If I have the KW app, then I have a quick place that I can go versus scrolling for a text message. I gotcha.
Because to me, the conversation would be kind of, you know, you're on your buyer consultation and you can pull out your phone and say, oh, hey, we have the KW app. This is brand new to market in the last couple months. It takes all the information from the MLS layered on with all the next door data and insights from agents around the country. And you can search anywhere in the country on this app. And you can kind of walk through, do a little demo and be like, oh, would you be interested in downloading this? You know, this could really help. And so while you're having that conversation, you could click on the share the KW app right there and send it to them. And
I've got that already.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got that. And it's got the Keller mortgage and the Keller covered under there as well.
Yeah, yep. So you can,
right.
You know,
but it does say that I'm my own agent, right? So that's
yes.
It's going to say that.
Yeah. So when you're in your app on your phone, it should show your image and your name and your license number at the very top. And
yes.
That's only branding, and that is to confirm that the app on your phone is linked to you as the agent. So
right.
when you share the app, it will already make that connection between you as the agent on that app that your client will download.
Great.
So that way they don't have to search through a list of, you know, 150,000 agents to connect it with the correct person.
Yeah, that's huge. Yeah.
Yeah. On the app, I mean, the main functionality is going to be all about searching. It's pretty similar to Zillow or Realtor. There are a lot of different ways that you can search. You can draw on it. So in the top right-hand corner, there's a little button that clicks on draw. It says draw, so you can write on it and then just, you know, make a big circle. And it'll only show the listings within that circle.
Now, where was that again? I'm sorry.
In the top right-hand corner, there's a button that says save, and then below that it says draw.
Okay, let me go back to the, because I'm under more. So let me get out of the more, I guess.
Yeah, go click on the search button on the bottom left-hand corner, and that'll take you to.
Oh, gotcha. Okay, okay, yeah, draw. Okay, cool.
So yeah, so they can draw if they have a specific area. Then they have all the search criteria, so you can put in price if you want. You know, they can search, you know, by price, number of beds, and they can add all of those features on top of that search area. Then what I think is really great, you know, let's say they click on one of the listings, it pulls up the listing, you know, they can open, you know, slide it up, read through all of the information. They can schedule a video tour. So if they're in this, in the app, they can schedule a video tour and they can select some times, and that will send a request to you as their agent to set up a video tour for you to go to the listing and walk them through the house on FaceTime or Skype, not the listing agent. So I think that's a really great feature that we have. So that way it, you know, makes our clients feel safe and protected, that they can still see the homes and they can let us know which homes they want to see on a video tour. Additionally, you can click through all the pictures, all the normal stuff that you can do. They can heart the listing. Let me see right here. In the top right-hand corner of the listing, they can just click the little heart, and that will save this. And you can save it to. They can create a collection, and I'm going to save it to my favorites and click save. Now, let's say, let me close out of here. They want to save this search. So they've gone through, they've added all the criteria in the certain area, the certain neighborhood they like. We can click on the save button in the top right-hand corner, and we can give this a name. So I'll name this Training Tech Training 721. And I'm going to click save. And it's now saved that search on my phone. So every time if I if I log on as a consumer, I can click on the little saved icon on the right-hand side, and it will show me all of my saved searches. I can view all, so I have my favorites, Atlanta's hottest listings, which are mine. My recently saved searches, Tech Training 722. I can click on it and it'll open up the map with the homes in that search area. The next thing I want to talk about is the guide. So the middle icon on the bottom is the guide. And in TC03, we walk through setting up these guides. So you have a seller's guide and a buyer's guide. And these are basically kind of that step-by-step process of what it's going to be like for your consumer as they go through either the buying or selling process. You set these up, I'll show you, in Command. So when I'm in the consumer applet, I can click on the guide builder up here. And then we have our buying and selling guide. So you click on the pencil on the right-hand side, and you can start to edit this guide. It's already pre-made with pre-made copy. But one thing that's really great is, let's say for getting pre-approved. Well, this one doesn't, but you could add steps, but you could add lender name, phone number. Lender name, phone number. So you could start adding information for your preferred lenders right here in this step. So I can click save. So now it's going to include that here. Make an offer, execute contract, home inspection. I can come down here to the workspace details, and I can start adding in home inspector number 1, phone number. Home inspector number 2, phone number. So you can put your preferred partners directly in this app. So as your clients are going through the process, and you talk to them and say, hey, so now that we're under contract, it is time to schedule the home inspection. If you want to pull up the mobile app, it'll walk you through and explain exactly what the home inspection is going to be like. And I included my 2 favorite home inspectors that I've worked with throughout my career. I recommend reach out to both of them, kind of compare them. And like, I'll also send you an email, but it's on your phone if that's easier for you as well. And I will say it usually takes about 24 hours for whenever you make any edits to the guide builder in Command to show up on your phone. So it does take a little bit of time for that to show up. It's not going to be instantaneous. But there's a buying guide and the selling guide on there. So that's pretty unique. And then as your clients are going through the process, you can check off that they've passed that step, so they know when they log back on, that step is complete. Or they can mark it as complete themselves. Click mark as complete. So now they don't have to worry about it, and it shows as a check mark, so they know that their next step is showing their home or whatever. So it's just another way. Sorry, go ahead.
Nope, you go ahead.
I would say this app and the guide is just another way that we can continue to add value and come from a place of contribution to our clients. So we can get all the best real estate search in the palm of their hand, but we can also hold their hand throughout the buying and selling process by providing them all this information. So when they're sitting in bed at 11:30 at night, kind of freaking out of like, oh no, what am I supposed to do? Who do I need to call to get pre-qualified for? It's like, oh yeah, right. Nick already provided that information. It's right here on my phone. I don't even have to call him or text him. It's right there. He's already answered my question before I had to ask. Nanette, what were you saying?
What is the feed button at the bottom?
The feed button is just kind of walks through the activity from the app. So if you updated your selling timeline, or like that's what I have, updated selling timeline, saved searches. So it'll show you all of your collection, saved searches of all the activity that you've done on the app.
Okay, so I mean, mine is empty.
Yeah. So you haven't done anything on the app. I wouldn't worry about it. But as you and your client work on the information in the app, it'll show client saved search XYZ, and it'll say Nanette updated the buying guideline to show submitted offer or under contract.
Okay.
So now that we've kind of talked through the app, how are we able to leverage that information of what our consumer is doing? Because that's one of the big benefits of having them use the KW app, is that it's all connected to command. So we talked about it earlier, how do we find that information out? I'm going to show you. So in command, you're going to go to that contact card. So for me, I'll go to mine. All right. And you can see here next to Nicholascore, it has a green check mark, and that confirms that this contact has downloaded and set up a profile on the KW mobile app. So I'll click on my name, and then it's loading my timeline over here on the right-hand side. And then boom, right here is where it's going to show my activity on that app. So it's going to see, it shows I completed the pre-listing staging part of the guide. I created a saved search called Tech Training 722. I can click on this, and it's going to show me what that training or that tech training saved search is. So from $0 to $400,000 with 2+ beds. I can also scroll down, edited my favorites. So this is where you'll see your contacts or your client's activity on their phone or on the mobile app will be right here in the timeline. So if you're working with a client and they do download the app, I'd recommend, maybe once or twice a day, just jumping into their contact card, double checking it, because it's, it could be another reason to touch, maybe they're kind of a little bit later out, a couple months out from actually buying. Say, oh, hey, I saw you were on the app today looking in Swanee. How are things going? Anything I can help you with? Any showings you want to schedule? And again, always coming from a place of contribution.
Can you, back to the contacts, can you do a quick search to then show everybody that has it so you're not having to scroll through all your contacts?
Let's see if we have filters, custom tags, lead source connected. I do not see where we'd be able to search for if they have the app, but what I would recommend is that if you're working with someone, that you kind of just keep an eye on it. But I'm going to get some more information on how we can filter by who has downloaded the app, because that is a great question and something that would be very.
I guess we could put a tag on everybody.
That's a great.
That doesn't necessarily mean that we would have the. Now I think you can also, can't you do it by leads? There's another.
Yeah, so you could sort by leads, but like for my contact here, I don't have it set as a lead.
Okay.
So that wouldn't work. But I love the idea of tags because it would be really easy. If you see someone that downloads it, add a tag of app or app user, and then perfect. You could filter for that really simply. It's a great suggestion. So any questions about the app, agent websites, landing pages, anything you want to see again today, need more information on?
No, but that about took us 2 hours. That was great information. I think that it's just that, a lot of people, for me, I've seen it a couple of times and it made more sense today. It's just a lot of information to think about taking notes on for 2 hours and then kind of going back and recalling it. That's my own challenge. But I think that if I can, and now have some notes that I can hopefully go back to. So thank you so much.
You're very welcome. And as you know, all of you are working on your websites, landing pages, or an app, let me know what questions you have. Reach out to me, send me a text, give me a call. I'm here to help. My goal is to make sure that you can leverage all the parts of Command for your business. And I'm here to support you in any way that I can. So
Great.
you don't have to wait next month till I teach this class again. Just give me a call. We'll walk through it together.
Great. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome. Everyone have a great rest of your day, and I will look forward to talking with you soon.
All right. Thank you, Nick. Bye.
Bye.